You are listening to the Frankton Eagles Report this week, as always, with head coach Brent Brobston, and this week with seniors Blake Niccum and Ethan Stansberry. If you enjoy the Central Indiana Sports Report, please help us continue to grow and thrive by sharing this podcast with a Frankton Eagles fan in your life. Like, subscribe, do all of that. Also, just about the same time we released this podcast, we also released our IU report for this week, and it was fantastic. If you're an IU fan and want to hear a great podcast about this national championship season, this is the one. Also, I came into doing the Central Indiana Sports Report with the idea of doing a daily podcast. I think I finally found the formula. It's awesome. I'm talking about the Pacers, the Fever, the Colts, IU, Purdue, IndyCar, and high school sports, and I'm joined every day by my friends to discuss it. It's called Greg and His Friends Talk Sports. I would sure love it if you check it out. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, Frankton Eagles fans, and welcome to the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, and I love talking Frankton Eagles sports. Thanks for joining me. Coming up after a quick intro, I'm joined by Brent Brobston, head coach of the Frankton Eagles, my weekly guest on the Frankton Eagles Report, and by seniors Blake Niccum and Ethan Stansberry, two great kids I'm happy to introduce you to. Also, if you're listening to SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, or Audible, if you go to YouTube, there's a fantastic video that goes along with this podcast. Thanks for listening to me promote myself here for a few minutes. Always appreciate it. But I know I can count on Frankton and Elwood to help me get the word out about the Central Indiana Sports Report, and I truly appreciate it. After 3 games in 2 days to open January, been a bit of a slow part of the schedule, but it is about to pick up. Of course, as we talked about last week, the heartbreaker against LaPel, a game Frankton felt it had won to fall to 7-4, but then they rebounded with their first CIC win of the year, 61-38 at Madison-Grant last Friday. It's a game, as Coach Brobston and I talked about, that saw Frankton get stronger throughout the entire contest. They actually trailed 13-12 after the first quarter, then outscored the Argyles at Madison-Grant 16-5 in the second, 21-10 in the third, then 12-10 in the fourth quarter. 4 Eagles scored in double figures, led by junior Trey Bennett with 17. Freshman Ashton Brobston finished with 13, and my guest coming up in just a moment, senior Ethan Stansberry finished with 15 points, and senior Blake Niccum 10. Bennett led the Eagles with 12 rebounds. Eli Birch, who scored 2 points, led Frankton with 8 assists and 3 steals. Stansberry made 4 of his 5 3-point attempts, and Niccum was 4 for 6 from the field. Frankton went 23 for 29 from the field overall and made 9 of their 18 3-point attempts. After a pretty slow start, I might add. Another really good sign for Frankton was 22 assists in the win. Up next on Friday, assuming the game gets played with the impending weather, one of the biggest games of the year for Frankton, and that is a trip to Hartford City to take on the 13-0 Blackford Bruins. The 2A number 6 Bruins are led by second-year head coach Aaron Daniels, one of the Central Indiana Sports Report's favorites. After the 13-0 start, Daniels is now 27-10 as Blackford's head coach, and it really helps when you inherited a player like Murray Leggett, who all he's done his freshman year averaged 14.6 points, 3.9 rebounds, 3.5 assists. This year as a sophomore, As you'll hear Ethan and Blake talk about, he's improved so much from last year. This year, averaging 27.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 2.4 steals, while shooting 54% from the field, 37% from behind the three-point line, and 82% at the foul stripe. And he is not alone. Senior Mason Kitterman is averaging 14.3 points, 6.4 rebounds, 2 assists a game, also a 1.3 blocks. A lot of really good role players as well. Obviously, it takes an entire team to be 13-0. Really special weekend for the Eagles. Again, hope we get it in with the weather. They take a trip to Knightstown on Saturday for a 5:30 game at the famed Hoosier Gym, where the Eagles will take on Wes-Del. By the way, I should mention that the game at Blackford is scheduled for 8 o'clock on Friday. Forgot to mention that earlier. Wes-Del is 4-7. The Warriors have a really good one in Julian Carpenter, averaging 12.4 points a game. And again, I talked to Coach Brobston, Blake, and Ethan about the Wes-Del game and playing at Hoosier Gym. That is in just a few seconds. This weekend is the first of back-to-back Friday-Saturday weekends. Next Friday, the Eagles return home to face Elwood at 8 o'clock. And then Saturday, they are at Tri-Central at 7:30. Still plenty of chances to get out and see the Eagles. February 5th at home against Tri. February 13th at home against Madison-Grant. February 17th at the Eagles Nest against Daleville. And the regular season finale, February 27th at home against Blue River Valley. All of those games are at 7:30. Remaining road games, Wabash, Alexandria, and Shenandoah. Quick look at the CIC. Blackford is 13-0, 4-0 in the conference. Number 1 Oak Hill, 11-0, 3-0 in the conference. Eastbrook is still technically in the race, having a really nice season. 7-5 overall, 3-1 in league play. Everyone else, including Frankton, honestly, out of the race. Frankton, Alexandria, and Mississinawa are all 1-2 in conference play. Elwood's 1-3, Madison-Grant 0-4. And last thing, looking at the sectional 39 field, Sheridan has the best record at 9-2, just ahead of 10-3 Taylor, followed by 8-4 Frankton and 7-4 LaPel. All four of them seem like serious sectional championship contenders. We'll see about 5-8 Tipton and 6-6 Elwood. Please stay tuned for Brent Brobston, Blake Niccum, and Ethan Stansberry. Now we welcome back to the Central Indiana Sports Report, Frankton head coach Brent Brobston, and we are joined by a couple of seniors, I knew I was going to do that, Ethan Stansberry and Blake Niccum. I played Little League with a guy named Jake Stansberry. We've been talking about him, whether they were related. Apparently they're not. Coach, big win over Madison-Grant, first conference win. I talked to Blackford head coach Aaron Daniels this week, and something he said was, the scary thing about Frankton is they always get better throughout the year, and we're starting to see that, aren't we?
I think we've started to see it with our tournament. When we started playing, when we played Cherubusco and North Judson, two teams that we really shot the ball well against, played well against, and in the Heritage game, we didn't shoot the ball well in the Heritage game, but we played really well defensively, and that was a down-to-the-wire game. And then I think you saw a stretch in the LaPel game that we played that was the best basketball we've played all season, maybe the best basketball we've played in years. That really proved to us of where we can go. And so then we moved into the Madison-Grant game, and we learned some stuff, obviously, from the LaPel game, and moved into the Madison-Grant game and really went up there on a Friday night, which is not an easy place to go win, and really was able to handle them well and get a good win.
Yeah, and like you're getting better as a team. You just got better every quarter on Friday night.
No question. We didn't have Noah Melvin, so that was different for us with him being sick. So Eli Birch started for us. He started this season, so it's not unfamiliar for him. But we had to have Isaac Fair off the bench. Greer Klein came in the first quarter off the bench. Cal Osborne came off the bench, Jackson Spalding off the bench. So we had some guys coming in off the bench. We used a little more depth in that game, and some of those guys had not played. Obviously, Ethan and Blake got in foul trouble early. So those guys had to come in that had limited minutes, and they did a good job with it. So it was a really good team win. And each quarter, like you said, I thought we defensively got better as the quarters went along, and offensively started to shoot the ball really well, which we've done. We've really shot the ball well all season, and the thing we've become familiar with is guys like Ethan and Blake are not afraid to you leave them open and give them any space. They know to take the shot.
A chance to play a few guys some extra minutes with Noah out and leading in the second half. What have you seen from the JV, the second team, that encourages you going forward?
The JV's having a great season. Cal Osborne is a freshman guard for us who's kind of led them in scoring a little bit in and out of games. Jackson Spalding, again, he's having another good year for us. And Jackson's a guy that can play varsity basketball for us, but right now he's playing behind Trey Bennett, Noah Melvin, two very experienced players. So he doesn't get quite as many minutes as he probably would like, but he's also playing a role behind two guys. And it's kind of like what Niccum and Birch went through last year. Those two guys played JV, and they earned it. And then this year they're having great years. So Osborne and Spalding have kind of been the catalyst offensively for that. Klein has just gotten back healthy, so that's been good. But all the other guys that are contributing in that JV program have done well. They're learning. They're getting better. And we've talked to them. We think they can win every game going out. I mean, they could lose here and there too, but they have the potential to win every game leaving and finish with a very good record.
Well, if they're going to win all the games the rest of the season, that starts with a big one on Friday at Blackford. Unbeaten. You knew coming into the season that they were going to be good. Clearly, they've got an all-state level player. They had a lot of experience back, but they also lost a 1,000-point score, so you weren't quite sure. But what we've seen is a really good Blackford team.
Yeah, Coach Daniels has done a great job, and he's come in there, and him and I have a relationship from BSN and where he works, and so I've gotten to know him over the last few years. Not only is he a good coach, he's just a tremendous person, great guy, very good individual, very good leader of young men. So he's done a really good job with that program, and obviously they're clicking on all cylinders. We're really looking forward to the challenge. Like, our schedule's tough, and we get challenged a lot throughout the season, so we're not afraid to lose. But like I've told the guys, you got to go in and give it everything you got. And at the end of the day, if we do everything we're supposed to do and we get beat, we get beat. At the end of the day, if we do everything we're supposed to do and we win, great. So that's what we got to do in this game. This is a very good team led by a very good player in Leggett. I mean, we're talking about a Division I caliber guard here that's going to, play some more big one day. And, but you can't overlook their other guys. Kitterman's a two, maybe 3-year starter that's shooting the basketball extremely well. Duran's played well this year. Dylan's played well when he needed to. So you've got guys there that contribute. So for us, we're looking forward to the challenge on a Friday night to go up in an environment like Blackford and play against a well-coached team.
Saturday, long trip, but it's well worth it. I'm sure you've been to the Hoosier Gym, Coach, but most of these kids probably haven't. And if they have been there, they haven't played there. So what an experience for them.
We took the time over Christmas break. We had some parents that organized for us to get an entire movie theater rented out where we could watch the movie Hoosiers together as a team. I thought that was a neat experience for the kids. They know what the movie's about. They were able to watch it. A majority of them already knew, but the ones that didn't now know. And I think it's cool for them to be able to go play in the facility where that movie was filmed. So,
wait, are you telling me there was anyone on your team that hadn't seen Hoosiers? Seriously?
I want to say that there might have been a couple that had not seen it yet. I think the majority of them had, but there was a few that had not. So that's the sign of how old I'm getting, I guess. But
always a big deal when we were growing up.
It was a big deal when we were growing up, and it's always a motivating movie to watch, especially as you're heading into a sectional time. But
I don't think I have a friend growing up who it's not their favorite movie.
Everybody loved Hoosiers, and that's what we're looking forward to. It'll be fun. It'll be, the court's different, it's smaller, so the challenge will be fun. And Wes-Del's got a good coach again. You can't overlook anybody. So we'll have a tough game Friday night. We just need to worry about it first and then move on to Saturday from there.
Will you run the picket fence?
I'll try to. You got to. If you're in that,
you have to run the picket. At least you have to yell out, run the picket. Even if it's not, you have to at least yell it out.
Yes.
It's your first traditional back-to-back Friday, Saturday for a while. Any concern about a big CIC game on Friday and then a non-conference game against a team that's not as good on Saturday?
I love this part of the season. I like the Friday, Saturday back-to-backs because I think it gives our kids a sense of what the sectional is going to be like. So we're playing Friday night. This is a quicker turnaround Saturday at the Hoosier Gym, but it's going to be a great experience for our kids. It's the second time this year that they've gotten to play at a facility that's different than ours or the away team because we played at the Noblesville Boom Arena. Now we're going to the Hoosier Gym to play Wes-Del. So it'll be a pretty cool situation for them to play in. The back-to-back will be great. I mean, our full focus is Friday night. We have to get through that game first, and then we start to concentrate on Wes-Del for Saturday, on Saturday morning. Everything's got to be a total focus on Friday. But yes, I do think that it definitely helps us playing back-to-back, and we do it multiple weekends. So it's going to be a good thing for us.
Besides getting in foul trouble, tell me a little bit about these two, Blake Niccum and Ethan Stansberry, and what they've meant to your program and kind of their roles on the team.
I think that all four of our seniors have just been huge for us this year. I know you're interviewing this time with these two, but Noah Melvin and Eli Birch have been tremendous guys that have Noah's been a 2-year starter. Birch has been a JV varsity guy last year and all varsity this year, obviously. So all four of these seniors have been so important to our program. I can't thank all of them enough where we're at. And I just keep stressing them to continue to work every day because I want them to get to the sectional, have the opportunity to try to win that thing. And, but Niccum, he's just gotten a lot better over the course of the last 3 years. He's an example of if you were a 6th, 7th man at some point in your life, and he started to, but the thing about Blake is he's just advanced his game and physically has put himself in another realm because he's really done a good job of lifting weights, of plyometric training and all the stuff you have to do off the court. He's made himself into a very strong athlete within our program, but just within the CI. To really add to that, he's shooting the ball well and scoring this year. He's been tremendous for us. It's been a nice surprise because I think early in the season we didn't start him the first couple games. We wanted to see how he did, and he earned it. And now he's won, he's performing every night. And Stansberry has been tremendous every year he's been here. So he's been a key to all of our sports programs and whatever he plays. I think the one thing you'll find about them two and the other two seniors, you're talking about 4 guys who are just class act kids. And these 2 guys right here, they're a great example on and off the court. And that's, more about that. They're probably not going to go make money playing basketball. So the bottom line is these 2, Noah, Eli Birch, they're all going to be very successful because of who they are. Their families have done a great job raising them and deserve a lot of credit for the young men that these 4 guys have become.
And now I think this is the official debut because I screwed things up the other night after the Madison-Grant game. I actually interviewed Blake and Ethan and a couple others, and it was insane. It was so insane I couldn't even run it. But now I made an audio error, so now we're gonna get a chance to catch up with Blake and Ethan. And first thing I'm gonna ask you is something Coach mentioned. Even when I was at Elwood through the first 11 years. The Frankton Athletic Department was always very well respected. The football, basketball was always so good. Do you guys feel that when you're here that it's special to be a Frankton Eagle?
Yeah, there's definitely just a sense of culture and there's been success in almost all of our programs. And so we all just want to continue that tradition of winning and good team culture.
I agree. Wearing Frankton across your chest carries a lot of value around here, and it's just special to be a part of any program, especially basketball, because we just try to do everything the right way. And I think in the past years, other teams have done that as well and built this foundation.
Especially the basketball program. You guys grew up in this town, and it's just special, isn't it?
Oh, I remember first watching the 2015, I became a really big fan of Austin Copton and Nick Wright and Coach Brady Ashton. Watching them obviously be very successful and going to the state championship was one thing. And then seeing the 2017 team with Maurice Knight and all of them win it was another thing because, that's the final goal of every year. And seeing them get to that goal was pretty awesome.
All right, Blake, let's talk about this year's team. What would you say is the personality of this team? How's this year's team different than the others?
Most of us have grown up being friends together, so we just have that's more of a bond, I guess, in some years maybe, and so it just helps us play more as a team and as one.
You guys got off to a really good start, had a couple of losses in there. How you feeling about your team going forward?
I'm feeling really good about this team. Everything's starting to click more and more each and every day, and I think we can make a really deep run and win a lot of games.
Let's talk a little bit about the Madison-Grant game, the most recent one. Noah missing. Coach said there were a couple of guys in different positions. How were you able to deal with that?
Every day in practice, just subbing guys in. I think they become ready to fill in that role. And I think even though there was some people that played more minutes than they usually do, I think we all just kind of played our game and played pretty well and got the win.
Big one against Blackford. I would assume most people think that you go in not as the favorites to win this. You like that position?
We'd been here before, the lapel game last year. Obviously, we were probably not favored to win that game, then came out, shocked a lot of people, and got to the sectional championship where we just came up short. So it's fun to play as the underdog. Getting the win and shocking people is what it's about.
What do you remember about playing against Blackford last year, about Mari Leggett?
He's definitely improved a lot since last year, but I remember we couldn't really rush him because he'll just drive right by us. So don't want to play him off too much, but just play good defense on him, and we just play our game, and I think we can stop him.
Well, Coach, it's funny. We were talking about the Hoosier Gym, and as I turned in to interview them, there's a display right in front of me. Either one of you been to the Hoosier Gym?
I've not, no.
I remember in maybe like second or third grade, we had a little league practice there. That's the only time I've been, or besides watching Frankton play at the gym.
Oh, so you did get to go to that?
Yeah.
Cool place, isn't it? It's kind of very historic.
Yeah.
And minimum 3 passes. You guys gonna wait? Are you gonna take out the measuring tape and make sure that it's 10 feet tall? What a great movie, man! Oh, looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, it'll be a really cool experience. I'm excited to do it with my team.
I bet though, guys, you haven't been spending that much time thinking about it with a big game against Blackford on Friday, right?
Definitely just looking at next game up. We don't want to look too far down. We got to win this game first before we look any farther.
Have either of you been interviewed before?
I've been interviewed. My sophomore year, I think, was my first time being interviewed.
Wait, because you're the quarterback?
No.
Or was it for basketball?
It was for basketball. Yeah, only one time though.
What about you?
I'm pretty sure this was my first year being interviewed. Been a few times after a game.
Despite all your track stardom, man, track athletes do not get the respect they deserve, Coach.
I agree.
Blake, Ethan, thank you so much for your time. I hope I didn't call you Jake more than once, and I really appreciate it. Thanks again to Ethan, Blake, and Brent for joining me. Thank you for listening. Go find another podcast on the Central Indiana Sports Report and listen to it. You will not regret it. Well, you might. I don't know you. It's possible you'll regret it. But I don't think so. It's pretty good. We got a comment on YouTube the other day that said, "You guys deserve so many more listens than you get." Of course, we started off as a podcast and then added YouTube later, so we get more listens on Apple and Spotify than we do on YouTube, but that was nice. Last thing, as always, it's great to be a Frankton Eagle. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.